Welcome to another video with Howard Piano Industries. In this video, I'm going to show you my preferred method of correcting the problem of loose tuning pins. So, tuning pins can get loose over time. You usually find them on older pianos. So as the wooden pin block swells with moisture or contracts with dryness over the years, it eventually causes the grip of the pin to get looser. Also, frequent tuning and turning of the tuning pin will ream out the hole so that it loses some of its torque. So a new piano may have a torque reading somewhere in the range of between, say, at least hopefully 80 to 120, maybe being a good tight torque. Can go up higher than that, 150. But as pianos age, you'll find them probably down between 50 and 70 oftentimes, and that's still a decent range where the piano will hold its tune. But when you get down to 30 and below that, you'll get to eventually to a point where the pin simply will not hold the tension that the string is putting on it by pulling it and twisting it. So the most obvious way you will recognize a loose tuning pin is when you have a sour note that sticks out, something like this. You can hear that unison is way out of tune. So usually it's gotten that way because the pin has actually slipped in the pin block, maybe during a particularly dry period or day when the block is at its driest. So the pin actually moved. So at this point, you need to do something to correct that, or you will not have a tuning that will stay. So I'm going to demonstrate on this piano in the bass section, because the bass section is often the first section that you will find loose tuning pins. It's just I guess there's more pull down here on these thicker bass strings, or maybe the pin block's a little thinner than it is in the treble and midsection. But for whatever reason, this is where you'll often find the loose tuning pin problem first. So when we go to correct loose tuning pins by tapping or pounding, you have to make sure that your piano is eligible for that particular repair. And you can only do the tapping or pounding if there's adequate space between the bottom of the string coil and the cast iron plate. So the area here that is above the plate, in this case it's about 1/8 of an inch. So you need a little bit of space so that you can tap that pin in without the string coil touching the plate. You do not want the string coil to touch that plate. If you get it down that far and the string coil is slightly binding on the plate, when you go to tune the string, it can hang up to the point, snag it to the point where it will cause too much, build up the pressure at that point, and the string can snap. So if the pin has been pounded already, there may be no space here. But on a new piano, usually the pins are about 3/16 of an inch above the plate at that point, and you have at least a 1/16 or an 1/8 to pound them in. So there is enough room to pound, and it just takes a little bit to tighten these pins. Often I'll just have a good pound will do the trick. So, and I drive them sometimes even less than a 1/16 of an inch into the pin block. But for this, it is very good to have this pin setter, and it's made for this purpose. And the purpose of this tool is to two things. First of all, you can put it on top here, and then it gives you a good target to aim your sledgehammer without having to come in here and you know, be in danger of hitting something you don't want to hit. So you have a nice clear target to hit. But the other thing this tool does is it gives you this handle, and so you can hold the handle and pull up in a clockwise direction, so that when you hit the tuning pin, the pin does not twist and in the direction that the string's pulling it, and the piano will not go way out of tune if you have this tool. If you use just a punch without the handle, say you have a pin punch and you just use that, then you'll end up with a piano that is way out of tune, because as you hit these pins, they will let go and slip since they're already loose. And then you'll have a lot of tuning to do. But this is a great tool to have. I'm going to demonstrate now. I use a sledgehammer. It's either a 3 to 5 pound sledgehammer, and then you just have to hit it once. And I like to use hearing protection when I do this. Got to get at the right angle here. There we go. These last few, you might have to have a pin punch, or might have to be a little bit creative in how you get to these. So that is all that's necessary often to really increase the torque from, say, you'll start out, say, at 30, and just a small tap like that can bring you up to often double to 60, but definitely enough that it's going to hold the tune quite a bit better. So Many times if I have a piano and the torque is lower than 30, I will recommend this sort of work. Sometimes just the bass pins, but sometimes it's all 230 or so pins that need to be tapped. And it's a procedure I will recommend to have done before tuning is done, because I don't want my tunings to not hold, and in the long run it's better to take care of the problem and have good tight tuning pins so that all your future tunings will hold and you'll look better for it. Our website is howardpianoindustries.com. You can see the link below. If you have any questions about this procedure, you can ask them in the comments, and I will respond and answer them as best I can. Thank you for watching.